And today we're actually going to make something on the wheel. I was going to show you exactly how to, well, I already cut the clay up, so it's a big piece of clay, it's a big piece of block, it's just like brick. And it's down there and it's very heavy. They come in like 50 pounds at a time. There's two big 25-pounders, big square pieces of clay long. I cut them in fours at the top, and then cut them underneath. So they come out in 4 squares. You probably are going to see some of that, the square on the wheel. Then I'll have to push it into a ball. Pop, 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 pop. Oops. Whew. That's why you should wear a mask if you're doing anything with clay and it's dry. Like if I swept out this shed right now, I'd have to wear my mask. So it's important to wear a mask when you're working around things at Pottery. I'm not wearing one right now because I'm talking. And I'm not stirring up a lot of things, but mask is important. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to do the centering. I'm actually going to make an item. I think we're just going to make a vase. My vase skills, you know, they're coming along. I like to do the shaping of the vases. They're going to try to get the, you know, I'm going to show you how to cone and center and then build up to a cylinder and make the cylinder into a vase. You know, all that kind of stuff is going to be happening right now. So hang with me and we'll go there. All right, you guys. Have fun and take a look, and I'll explain some of the stuff as I'm going. Hopefully you'll be interested in what I'm doing, and hopefully I will explain it well enough. I was going to just show you and put music with it, but I think what I'm going to do is just kind of talk through it so you guys can get an idea of what's going on. Maybe I will start teaching. I don't know. So here we go. Okay, everyone, I'm back. We're going to try to do some clay on the wheel here, so hang with me. This clay is actually pretty darn hard, so what we're going to do is go ahead and make this into a ball. I'm just doing this here. I'm going to get it all like loosened up and pliable. Not very pliable right now. This is taking quite a... And yeah, you just keep doing that with it. I don't know if you can, I'm putting it towards the camera now so you can see. There it is, it's getting there. And what you want to do is make it into kind of a ball. I just chopped that out of a big huge piece of clay. Of course, clay comes square, so just keep doing that until it gets kind of pliable in your hands. Now I'm not, like I said, I am kind of a beginner / intermediate. I'm going to show you what I can do, but to get it like that, now you're going to take a little bit of water and you're going to put it on the wheel and you're going to slam it down on the wheel. And you know, I cheat a little bit, trying to make sure it's kind of centered. And then we're going to go for it. So hang in there and let's watch what happens here. Kind of press it down. This is called centering the clay. It's not the easiest thing to do, but with this clay especially. Oops. And I don't want to get it to the center. Still not quite centered yet. Full speed ahead with the wheel. Get that centered up. It's starting to feel a little bit better. So we just keep working at it till it's a little cone up. This is called coning. Kind of gets the clay mixed up. And you know, you should only have to do this once. You're coning up by squeezing down below, coning up, and you're going to start to press down again, very slowly, just to kind of make it go down and centered. Got a loose door, sorry guys. And there we go. That's pretty centered. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to push in. pushing in or going into an angle here. And slowly go down into the clay. An angle. And then we're going to pull up. And then we're going to make a pillar. What they call a pillar. This is our final shape here, but until we start making what we want. It's called a pillar. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now, gotta make sure it's kind of leveled out there. Still need a little help. Alright, that's pretty good. Still a little bit on the top there, but you know, that'll fix as we start raising clay up. Now, take some of that off. Now I should be able to start making our basic form. By sticking our hand in there and slowly pulling the clay up, upwards. As you see, this clay is not easy to work with. It's about a year old. And slowly pull that up. I'm taking bits of clay off as I go. So. And you start slowing the wheel down. If you don't, it starts to fly away on you. So it's just like, we're bringing this up as far as we can go in the palm of our hand with the pressure on the inside. Just mellow that out there. See, starting to get a cylindrical or cylinder shape. Pushing the clay up slowly. You're bringing it up. Just slowly bringing it up. And you'll bring a little clay off in your hands. Shaping it at the same time. Giving it the shape you want now. So if you want a vase, you're going to start shaping it at this point. So let's go shooting for a vase. Actually, we're just going to start pushing it on the bottom here a little more. Just to bring it out. And bring it up. Now what we're going to do is kind of a cylindrical shape again. Plenty of water on your hand. This is porcelain and stoneware. Porcelain likes a lot of water. Bringing up the top slowly with your cup of your hands. I'm going to make this shape. Slowly bringing it up. Starting to get a nice cylinder. Stick your hand down there and push out, outward. Making sure the inside is. And I don't like mine exactly perfect, so I do little ridges and kind of, I mean, I like it kind of perfect, but I'm going to collar in. So it's not the easy thing, because you got to be careful with your collar in, making sure you have plenty of juice around your hands, because it will catch and wrinkle. Slowly collar that in. Just bringing it in. And now you can run a little water down your fingers like so. Just bringing that in. And continuing to work on the shape of your vase. Using your fingers slowly up and down. Working on that shape, pulling it out. Just pushing out slowly. There goes my door again. You want to slow down that wheel. Push in. Starting to get that shape we want. Now we're going to collar it in again. A little more. Slowly and slowly. See, slightly small adjustments. That's what you want. If you do anything too fast, the clay will just hang or twist. And I can't stress enough to have enough moisture on your hands when you're doing this. So you just keep collaring it in. There it is. I'm starting to get. Now, depending on how, this is when you're going to get your shape right. Depending on how much working on it. Be sure you got the right pressure slowly. That's pretty close to the, getting very close to what I like. You need to push out a little more maybe down here. Really slow the wheel. Really see what you're doing now. That's looking more round. Like I like it. Push in the neck. That's looking like it. Okay, now I got the shape I want. Now I'm going in with the neck. Trying to bring that up just a little bit. And a nice neck. And maybe go in a little more at the top to give it a little lip. Slowly and gradually. You bring that shape together slowly, especially on the neck. Because if you don't, and you got to keep the shape here too. It's kind of important, otherwise it caves in on you. So I would say that's pretty close to what you want. And then we maybe want to collar in just slightly. And hold a nice bouquet of flowers. Very careful not to mess it with that. And I think that's how we want it. And that's about it, guys. And then what you want to do is take sponges. And you're going to want to sponge out, that one's kind of worn out. You're going to want to sponge out any moisture that's on the bottom. Okay, it's because this makes it weak. So you sponge, sponge, sponge. Try to get all that extra out and shape it at the same time. It's more sponging. Just don't force anything unless you want to use it. Sponges, you can actually put in a final shape. The sponge, just get the water out basically. Okay. All I'm doing right now is getting the extra moisture out of the bottom, because if you don't, like I said, it could be very weak and it could just get cracked in the kiln. You need to really make sure that water's out and kind of compress it if you can. Now if you don't want a bunch of stuff on the outside, you can take a scraper, like a tool, which I like to do before I take it off, and I'll show you. You take a tool and you can actually get all that moisture off the side as well. I think we're pretty good on the inside there. So you can take a tool like this, and you're going to use this to carve the bottom. And can you see the bottom? Yeah, you can see the bottom. So this tool here is basically a wedge tool, and you're just going to cut off some excess clay. Like just slowly, not all at once, slowly push it in, and then start sliding the clay away as you go down with the wedge. The clay starts to slide away. Then when you get it far enough away from the actual pot, you can actually use this edge to scrape off all the extras. Then you can actually start to shape the bottom, so you don't have to do a lot of trimming later, and get the excess clay off. Some people like to do it this way. It just depends on what's comfortable for you. I like to make designs sometimes with it that way. I like doing it this way actually for smaller pieces. It's a little easier for me. Just get that excess stuff off. And you can kind of see what's happening there and get a nice little ring of clay going. You can just straighten this out with your fingers if you want. Bring it up a little more. Start really working on the shape. And then, once you feel like it's pretty close to where you want it to be, that looks pretty good. Then you use this piece here, this piece I've created with the monofilament line. It's actually twisted together with two pieces. I actually created this myself. It's got a couple of handles made out of just dowel and twisted monofilament, and then I use some of the torch and just heat it up, not too, just get it kind of heated, and then it stays twisted. So when you do this with your pot, you get a really cool design on the bottom that looks like a nice potter's design. Now when you take this off the wheel, some people use these. I don't use these for really big projects, but like what you can do is reach behind me here, so that you've got all the slurry off the off the edges there. Basically wipe your hands down with a towel, paper towel. Just wipe them off. You know, make sure your hands are dry and clean. And since you use that twisted tool, you can make one, you can buy one. I like making mine. It's cheaper. Yeah, once you get that off your hands, you should be able to just pick it up. There's air. It introduces air underneath the piece of pottery, so you should be able to just pick it up and set it aside. So let's see if I have some room for it here. I'm pretty sure. I've some other things I did last night. So basically, just use your hands like tongs, gently, and it just pops right off. And if you can see that design now underneath, that's the design that's on the bottom of the pot right here. It's got a cool little swivelly thing going on now. And now it's down there to dry. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And I look forward to more subscribers someday, possibly. I can go more into detail. We actually will go into detail more about, you know, doing the glaze and getting it prepared to fire. So firing is very important. That's the, you know, getting it bisque fired, ready to be glazed. And then we gotta paint it. There's a lot of processes, a lot of steps involved with pottery. It's not so just make a form and you're done. You've got to do a lot. Like I said, bisque firing first. You don't have to. Some people go all the way through. Depends on the look you want. You can go all the way through with the bisque fire to this glaze all the way through. Simon Leach does that one a lot with his own glazes, cone tin. But me, right now, I'm doing bisque fire, then I paint it. So a lot of potters just do that, paint it with the glaze, or dip it, and then go ahead and glaze fire it. Some of my pieces have been done a couple times glaze fire, like if you watch my recent video that I just made, I talk about a piece that's been fired twice. And later on we can go into some trimming and how to get the foot on a pot or a vase done or a bowl. There's a little bit things to know about special tools to use and how to spin it around and get all this stuff. You can, you know, clay is very pliable after it dries to leather hard, so you can do a lot of things with carvings. We even have some underglaze you can do. I have some underglaze you can do before you actually bisque fire. You can actually turn the clay a certain color. I think I have a piece back here that's been bisque fired. Yeah. This piece here was bisque fired. And before it was bisque fired, I put on an underglaze, which is basically a colored clay. Has pigment, it's clay, it doesn't stick to the shelf. I have a lot of great ideas for the bases of pots now. That doesn't get like on the bottoms and things that don't get glaze. As you can tell, it's on the bottom there, it didn't stick to the shelf. So it's a great way to color the bottoms of your pots. You probably saw some of my pots where the bottoms were kind of white on the bottom. I didn't really care much for that. I think I'm going to start just glazing the bottoms with that colored underglaze. I have a ton of it, so like I did with that other piece, I just painted it with underglaze and did a clear coat. So, but yeah, I think I'll leave it a flat black on the bottom, and I'll start doing some really wild colors on top. Possibly just go with a normal glaze that you've seen. The Chinos would look cool with a really dark bottom. Anyways, we're going to play around and experiment on my next firing. Hopefully the next firing will be glaze, or it could be bisque. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. We have a lot of stuff that's bisque fired already. I think we should probably work on glaze firing. So hang with me. We'll do some stuff and we'll learn together. So this is going to be great for all of us. I hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll talk to you soon.